Last year when we were here, we had a conversation about the same topic that Mr. Quigley just raised, which is a very important one, which is all of the property the federal government owns and how we can dispose of portions of it that are unneeded, unused, and are not benefiting taxpayers. One critical component to that is being able to know where all of the property is. I thought you might update us on what the GSA has done since our hearing last year. My question was then, and it still is now, does the GSA have an ability to pinpoint every piece of property owned by the GSA? And does the federal government have the ability to pinpoint every piece of property, real property owned by the federal government? Can we geolocate that property? Can we point to it on a map very easily? And can we search in a way in which I could tell my constituents how many golf courses the federal government owns? Can we answer that? Can we answer how many parking garages the federal government owns, how many hotels the federal government owns, how many grocery stores? How do we make that information? What's changed over the last year? I know we had this dialogue, you were working on it. Where are we now, and how can we get to a point that we need to be?
No, I really appreciate your asking the question, because I took your last set of questions last year really as a challenge to the organization and our staff to make substantial progress. And I can tell you for GSA, we actually do have a website where you can go and it shows a map of the United States, and you can click on any state and you get the congressional districts, and it'll tell you every property. It'll tell you the specifics of the property, whether it's leased, whether it's owned, what the terms of the lease are, and we're working to actually make that much more graphically interactive and simple for people to use. We want to use the progress we've made at GSA, because those are the assets we control, and frankly, we think we're the best at this, are among the best in the federal government. We'd like to take the progress we've made at GSA and then export that across the federal government to other agency landowners. In the meantime, we're working very closely with OMB, and there's been great leadership there with the Director Burwell and Deputy Director Cobert to get the Federal Real Property Council to really push up the quality of the data it's putting into the Federal Real Property Profile, so that we can be much better about answering what is the status and the nature and the quality of assets. I think we're not quite there yet where there's one, I can tell you we're not quite there yet, where there's one website where people can click and ask those questions. But we have taken a substantial step in that direction over the last year, particularly starting at GSA, and we want to export that progress to other agencies.
Well, I was looking at your website earlier. It does seem like you have made some significant progress in that. We're going to kind of work through it, see where we can even make it more user-friendly, because the idea is to let the public and everyone in this country know what they own and be able to find it, and that will hopefully have all of us looking to root out waste and find efficiencies. And hopefully what you're doing here is a model that we can push to other parts of the federal government.
We agree, and we'd love your ideas and suggestions.
Right. Thanks for your work. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.